Listen, all of you know how I feel about Cape Coral. If you watch my channel, it is no surprise to you that it's not my favorite city in Southwest Florida. But listen, that does not mean, can we clarify this right now? That does not mean that I don't like you. Okay, if you like Cape Coral, we can still be friends. It just means that Cape Coral is not my top pick, and for many reasons, some of which we are going to discuss right now. All right, so if this is the first time we're meeting and you just happened upon this channel because you love Cape Coral, or maybe you don't, maybe you just moved out of Cape Coral and you want to get the skinny on what's going on because you know that you're right on Cape Coral, this will be an interesting video for you. So as I said, if it's the first time we're meeting, my name is Barrett Pastor and I've been a real estate broker for 27 years. So hopefully I'm coming to you from a place of knowledge and experience, and I can help you navigate all things Florida real estate. If you would like to do a deep dive into your personal situation and you're not looking at buying for another 3 to 5 years, grab some time. I offer consultations. I will leave the link below in the description box. But if you're ready to look in this season coming forward, so in other words, as of you watching this video, the next 90 days, I'm going to give you my email right here. I'm also going to leave a link right here, which these are free links, free email, obviously. Reach out if you're ready to start looking. My team and I would be happy to help. Now, I'm going to tell you why, if you're thinking about buying in Cape Coral, it might be a good time for you. Now, here's the thing. You might say,
you know what, really, Barrett? I'm not calling you because you don't like Cape Coral.
Do you want somebody, let's talk through a little brief scenario. Let me give you a quick example. I'm going to take it outside of Cape Coral. Let's say you live in Michigan and you want to move to Venice, Florida. So all of your friends and neighbors and relatives tell you, go with Joe Smith. I don't know who Joe Smith is. I'm making it up. Go with Joe Smith. He lives in Venice. He is the Venice guy. He sends us all the reports on the community. Let's go with Joe Smith because he knows the area so well.
And he's got quite a reputation.
So you go with Joe Smith, but here's the thing. Joe Smith and his quite that reputation, he wants to be known as the guy that gets the highest amount for every property in the area. So how does he do that? Well, do you think he does that by being neutral with you? Since you're moving from Michigan and you don't know what you don't know, do you think he's going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly? Do you think that he is? Or do you think he's going to tell you the good, and the good? And then you move in and you're like, well, I didn't know that 2 houses over began a floodplain. I had no idea. I just bought a moat. Now I live on a moat. Well, I didn't know that a highway was coming through a half a mile from here. I didn't know that. Joe Smith didn't tell me that, and he's the guru and he didn't tell me. My point is, I'm making this up, but you know what happens. My point is, you want somebody who's going to be neutral for you. Listen, I don't care where you live. You can live in Cape Coral if you like Cape Coral. You can move to Venice. You can move to Naples. My job is to help you uncover all the rocks. You know, we want to talk about the good things, but we also have to talk about the bad things. Speaking of bad things, let's do a quick little deep dive into Cape Coral and what the numbers are looking like. I have them right here in front of me. All right. So, update on Cape Coral in this final quarter we're rolling into in 2025. You know, you have to, appraisers in Southwest Florida, they pull data in your hometown, New Jersey, Michigan, wherever you live. They're probably pulling 1 year back for comps. We don't do that in Florida because it is such a rapidly changing market. Appraisers pull actives, pendings, and solds, but the actives and the solds make they really lean the heaviest, especially the solds, because you can ask whatever you want, but it's still usually 3 actives, 3 pending, 3 sold, usually something along those lines. So in your hometown, they're probably going back a year. Southwest Florida, they're going back 4 months, 120 days, because the market changes so quickly, and that is why I do these updates a lot for you. So in Cape Coral, the supply right now is 10.6 months. So we're going to round that to 11 months. There is 11 months of supply on market right now in Cape Coral coming into our season. So think about that. Would that be something that aligns with getting a good deal? A lot of homes on market during season. That's going to set up a lot of competition for the sellers, not the buyers. Because if you're a buyer and you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home that's built in, I don't know, 2020 or newer, there are a lot of them in and around $400,000 to $500,000. If you want to be on water, maybe $400,000 to $600,000. So there are a lot of good buys out there right now if you like Cape Coral. Price per square foot, you guys are you're not even going to believe what the price per square foot is. So just to give you comparison, during COVID, let's just say right at the height of COVID, it was running, let me give you a couple different numbers. Hold on, let's scroll this. All right, prior to COVID, Cape Coral price per square foot as a whole on single family homes, I'm not putting any other details in, just price per square foot on the home, was running on average about $291 price per square foot prior to COVID. During COVID, we'll just use 2021. We'll use 2021. Price per square foot, $414 per square foot. Almost double at that point in time. So as of today, in this last quarter, right now anyway, the price per square foot is $235. So it is lower than it was prior to COVID. Lower. And that is really important. And if you're interested, I'm going to do a deep dive like this into Venice, because that's an area that I get a lot of requests for. We sell a lot of houses in and around Venice, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, all in through that area. Even Siesta Key, Lido Key, people still are buying on water. But I'm going to do a deep dive in Venice as well, Naples, any other area you want me to dive into, I can, because this is the data that you really need, the real data, not what somebody, a friend of a friend of a friend, you don't even know how they got on your Facebook, but they're there and they're posting these things about how great everything is in Cape Coral and then you overpay for a property. No. If you love Cape Coral, you need to know these things, because it could be a really good time for you to take advantage of their terrible market. All right, so let me just read you a little bit something extra that I noticed in Cape Coral as I kind of moved through it. So it says there was a significant drop in permit activity as it relates to prior to COVID. That just gets me, because I can understand there being a drop from COVID. Like there's about 1,100 less permits from 2024 to 2025. I can understand that because this is a changing, difficult market. But to have less than prior to COVID, that really gets interesting, because that's what a lot of people are looking at. Are we going to hit pre-COVID numbers? Well, we're doing better than pre-COVID numbers in Cape Coral. So if you're a buyer, that's significant. If you're a seller, I hope you bought your house a long time ago or you got a really good deal, because if not, you might be renting it. And that is another point that I want to make. The amount of canceled contracts in Cape Coral is almost double what it was prior to COVID, and rentals are just off the charts. I pulled the rentals. There's literally, when I tell you there's 1,500 rentals, all I did was take Cape Coral and I plugged in 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I gave just a dollar amount. And the dollar amount I used was $1,500 to $2,000 on a rental. So if you're looking for a rental, there's that available as well. But I would say to you that if you're somebody that's been watching Cape Coral and maybe you want to be on big open water, this might be your opportunity to do it, because yes, big open water is always going to price higher. It's going to hold better. But even on big open water, the prices are definitely trending downward. And that's when you want to buy, is when we're on that downward trend, because as you know, like, look at it this way. If you think about a big giant high tide wave coming in, we'll just call that COVID. When that happens, the lull is always the lowest. That's when you see that dip down afterwards. When something like that happens, that is when people got those really good deals several years ago, coming out of 2005. 2011 was incredible. People got great buys on their houses. So I think we're definitely in that downward swing right now. Will it swing lower? We don't know, but you don't want to catch it on the way up. And I can tell you, as it looks in Cape Coral, it is definitely not on the way up.